Hey everyone, my name is Aaron Collins, and this is another edition of me addressing worldly issues in a godly way. Hope everyone's doing all right today. One of the things I want to talk about is the neighborhood, the black community in particular. Black community has always been a place where we could go, we could reside, set up shop, and just basically be to ourselves and just do what it is we do. Now, the black community, at least as I know it, has always been, well, as the name states, mostly black people. But when you start getting outsiders and outside developments coming in and changing things, the landscape tends to start to look a little bit different, and the atmosphere would tend to change. Therefore, the subject of this particular commentary is gentrification. Gentrification, is when a community starts to change. I'm not sure the exact definition. I'll look it up and I'll get it. But anyway, I got this idea from a friend of mine. Now he lives in Inglewood, California, which is out here in LA County. And he gave me the idea to talk about gentrification. And in actuality, I'm real thankful for him for giving me this idea because it's something that's happening nationwide. Gentrification is when you have, like I said earlier, outsiders and developments coming into the black community and making changes. And it's also even changing the demographic, even. Like, in this case, you have white corporations and as well as white residents that are moving into the black community and pretty much moving us out of it. They started, they're really starting to catch on to the inner city, which is just another code word for black, or words like urban stuff. It's just, these are code words for black. Anyway, years ago, they did something which is termed white flight, where white residents in major cities moved into the suburbs of these cities and pretty much lived, for better choice of words, a decent life. Anyway, they left the cities, and a lot of times when they abandoned the cities, a lot of times the inner cities did seemingly become run down because when they left, they took the resources and the wealth with them to the suburban areas. Well, now they've caught on to the fact that the inner cities now have pretty much more resources, like they're adjacent to major freeways, so that will cut down on traffic as well as gas and time to get to where it is they need to go to, whether it be work or business. And it's also close to major intersections and things like that. But how it works is that when they're moving back into these cities and they're starting to build up shops, and they start to see abandoned businesses, and they start getting interested in them, and they see abandoned houses. They fix these homes up, these businesses, these buildings, and then they start moving into them. And in that case, they start the value of the property itself tends to go up. Now, that's not to say that because black people are living in an area that the property value goes down. That's not what I'm saying, because that's also a myth as well. Do we have some bad apples in our community? Of course. Doesn't everyone? But what happens when they start moving in, the rents start to go up. And then the people that are living there could barely start to afford it, and then they leave. It's another tactic for them to move us out of these communities and move us outside the city. Like I can use the city I live in now. I live in Los Angeles. And there's a particular neighborhood that's known worldwide as South Los Angeles, or as some people more familiarly know it as South Central LA. Now, South Central LA historically has been a major black neighborhood, but with the influx of blacks moving out, a lot of Latinos have moved back in. Now, Southern California is largely Hispanic anyway. But what happens is a lot of areas that we know of that have been black have now become Latino. This is just a demographic shift. It comes with, it's part of gentrification. A lot of blacks have moved out to neighboring areas such as Moreno Valley, which is in the Inland Empire, or Lancaster and the Palmdale area, which is LA County. So once blacks start to leave these areas, then others move in, and then they start putting money into the establishments or into the homes or whatever. Well, now the same thing is happening over again. Now white people are starting to move into the black community and raise up the rents and things like that. Now, it never thought, this is not just happening in LA, this is happening nationwide. You see, whoever thought that you would see in the black community establishments like Starbucks or Nordstrom's or whatever like that. Now you start seeing stuff like that in the neighborhood, then you start, it's probably not noticeable at first, but once you start seeing more and more of it, then you start to realize something's starting to happen here. And it brings on a whole new definition of the expression that goes to neighborhood. So anyway, but what happens is they start to raise up, the cost of living there to where it's not affordable, and then that causes people to move out. Sorry about that. But another part of gentrification is that the people that are already living there, who have homes, they sometimes start giving them payouts. Now, the one thing about black people that I'm proud of is we do have some fight in us. The only problem is that we fight amongst each other. Instead of fighting the system that's trying to weed us out, we fight each other, and that's all a part of the whole Willie Lynch white supremacy self-hatred syndrome that we desperately have got to break. But we need to fight to maintain our way of living and our way of life. Now I'm going to say this. Somebody asked, well, wouldn't it start bring businesses and things into the neighborhood, start making the quality of life a little bit better? But by all means, of course it would. That's not what I'm saying, because who doesn't want to live in a safe area, a safe environment? The thing is that if for those who are already living there, they want to start to move you out, then that's the thing. Stay where you are. And there's a lot of people who are not giving up their homes, and I'm glad to see that. But it needs to be more of us, because with gentrification also comes something called eminent domain. Eminent domain is when big businesses start to move smaller businesses out. Like you have a lot of the mom and pop type stores, mom and pop establishments, barbershops, places where we could go for us, where we could go air out our differences and our problems. Those days are starting to die out. Those businesses are starting to move on, and it's sad. Like you have you have Uncle Joe's barbershop being replaced by something like Supercuts or something like that. Matter of fact, the movie Barbershop 2, starring Ice Cube, actually talked about that. It actually hit on that, and it was it hit on what gentrification does to a community, and how it could greatly affect the residents of that community. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that, and everyone get in the comments. Let me know what you think. But we need to do more of fighting the system and stop fighting each other. Once again, there are bad apples in our group that need to be got out of there, simply. Because anytime when you can see little Billy and little Becky walking their dog down Crenshaw Boulevard or 63rd Street, or 63rd Street, my hometown, Chicago, or anywhere like that in a historically black neighborhood, it's not necessarily a promising thing. So just keep that in mind, everyone. Just think about what I'm saying. We need to stay put. We need to develop that same stubbornness that causes us to not want to be put in slavery. We need to develop that. Once again, everyone, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop more videos. And also, everyone, this is a disclaimer. Black Junction TV is up and running. Black Spot TV will be up and running soon. Go support these platforms. We need to support our own black-owned platforms, everyone, because YouTube, as we know, it's targeting black content creators. So we just really need our own space to go, air out our differences and just put out our information for our people. And that's not to say that for those who are already established on YouTube, okay, by all means, yeah, do that. But also utilize what we have as well. Once again, Black Junction TV, Black Spot TV. Let's go on over there, check it out. I just opened up an account on Black Junction TV. I'm loving it. The interface is very well done. I mean, we got folks over there that's already doing it. People, YouTubers who I love, like the True Royal Families over there, Lisa Cabrera. I just got through watching the video from Nicole's View. She's over there too. Tareen Rain's over there. So yeah, go check it out, everyone. Black Junction TV. So, and Black Spot TV. So anyway, everyone, y'all have a good day. The new year is upon us. 2018. Y'all, let's do it. Seriously. And I'm talking to myself as well. Let's do it. Let's start 2018 out with a bang, and let's just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. So I love you all, everyone. I mean, God loves you. Bottom line, let's just do life. Talk to you later.